So the first feature I want to talk about is where I just pick up the device and it instantly scans for my face and my eyes without even asking me to press the unlock button. Now, it's called Lift to Wake and it's really cool. It just saves you a ton of time, it saves you that key press that you need, and it's really quick. To enable this, just go into Settings, hit Advanced Features, and then scroll down to Motions and Gestures. You would see an option called Lift to Wake, and that's going to be inactive. Just enable that and you're good to go. Alright, next one. I know we're really used to these navigation buttons, but I really like them gone. And it introduces this new way of navigating, which is just, simple swipes to go back, to go to the home screen, or to access recent apps. It's really, really good. And I know that you see these 3 bars, so that's basically where you need to swipe. But you need to enable this, so go into your display settings, scroll down to navigation bar and select full screen gestures. And once you're used to this, I would recommend that you turn off gesture hints so those 3 lines disappear and you have the complete screen for that immersive viewing experience. And guys, before we move on to the third one, it'll be great if you could support my channel by liking this video, subscribing to my channel, and hitting that bell notification icon so you never miss a video from me. Okay, so the one thing I really dislike about Samsung UIs are their screen animations and transitions. They're sort of slow, and you can really tell. I mean, look at OnePlus, it's really quick, right? It's blazing fast, and that has to do with these screen animations. But you can now change that, and you can look at the results for yourself. Now that I'm opening the phone app, the email app, WhatsApp, it's a lot quicker. Those screen animations are gone. So to be able to do that, just scroll down to Advanced Features in your settings, go to Reduce Animations. It's going to be disabled by default. Just enable that and you're all set. With the One UI, Samsung's been able to introduce more control over how Always On Display appears. Now, remember one thing, Always On Display does consume quite a bit of battery. So scheduling it or just, making it turn on at will is probably an intelligent thing to do if you want to save more battery. And that's exactly what you can do if you go into lock screen settings, Always On Display, and then your display modes. You can schedule your Always On Display to be on from a certain hour to another hour, or you could just tap to show, so every time you want to see if there's any notification or what the time is, just tap on the screen and it'll show you. And speaking of Always On Display, with the One UI, you also get more clock styles for both Always On Display as well as your lock screen. So if you were to go inside the right settings, you would see that there are some new clocks that have been introduced. And it's just different. It's not more useful or less useful, it's just different. And so it just adds a bit of fresh customization to your Always On Display as well as your lock screen. So you can see that I've just applied a new one, I've changed the color, and here's how it looks. Reminds me of the S6 Edge that I used to have. And again, they're just, they're new. So go ahead, try them out. You've got one calendar view, you've got like an agenda view. So all of these are pretty good. Go ahead, change the color, make it match your theme inside. So all of that's possible. And you can do the entire same thing for the lock screen as well. You've got a couple of new clock styles and you can then change the color to match the lock screen colors as well. Coming to the next one, I actually use my camera more to take videos than pictures, but every time I come back to the app, it changes back to photo mode or the auto mode. Now there is a way to change that. You can go into settings and then scroll down to camera modes, and you can enable this option which says, basically remember the last mode. And now if I leave my camera in the video mode, the next time I come back, it would continue to be in video mode. So the next one has to do with edge panels, and I don't know how many of you use it, but I use it all the time for all my shortcuts, calling people, utilities, and so on. But now there's this grid option. So if you've got like a bunch of edge panels, you could just use the grid and land onto the one that you want to use. So you don't have to flip through all of your edge panels to get to the one that you want. And by the way, Samsung's really changed the way, the functionalities appeared from multitasking windows. If you tap on the icon now, you get the option to, preview in pop-up or create a multi-window session. So let's say that, I'm on email and I want a multi-window session with another app, like let's say Medium. So I can do that using that method. And it was just not there earlier. Also, if you go into your recent apps menu, your top 5 apps or the most recent 5 apps come as icons. So you don't have to, browse through the windows anymore. You can just tap on the recent app that you want to go into and you instantly get there. And coming to one of the most favorite feature of the One UI was the dark mode. If you go into your display, you have a night mode that basically turns the entire UI into this dark theme, very easy to the eyes sort of a view. Of course, you could always switch back to the day view, which is normal. I mean, that's something that we've all been used to with the Samsung UIs that have been there so far, but it's just not as cool, you know. The dark mode, it just saves you more battery, it's easy on the eyes, plus it looks really good, and all apps take that same appearance. And the other thing, which is why it's called the One UI, is the fact that you can use this entire phone with just one hand, right? Everything's accessible, it's all in the lower half of the screen, your tabs, so that you can easily switch between different features or different parts of the app. It's just amazing. And I think Samsung's done a wonderful, wonderful job with the One UI. So those were some of my favorite One UI features that have been introduced in the Galaxy Note 9 with the new One UI interface update. Let me know what your favorite are and just comment them in the section below.